isn't just about lawn care. The Grass Factor is about the science behind why we do what we do. But we are stewards of the environment. We are stewards of the planet. It is our responsibility. This is the most frustrating thing I've ever seen. Drawn on the field. Let's talk about this field. So, this field was the first athletic field I worked on in Knoxville. This is Hardin Valley High School. So I'll throw up the pictures again of what this field looked like before. Let me tell you a little bit about the work that went into it and why I'm saying goodbye today. We put so much time and effort into this field. Thousands and thousands of dollars of fertilizer. Experimental products. This was the first place I ever put biochar on turf grass. We top dressed this with 70, 80 tons of sand that year. Any and everything we could do to improve the condition of this field, we did. We experimented with high rates of cytokinin. We used the CytoGrow products. We use organics. We use synthetics. You know, top dressed with the raw carbon. Anything we could do to improve it, we literally did here. Verticut. We aerated and mowed. This thing was mowed every day for an entire summer to try and get it to fill in, because we had, you know, 40, 50,000 square feet of Bermuda grass to fill in. And the credit really doesn't go to me. The credit goes to the coaching staff here. The coaching staff were the ones that put in all that time, all that effort. I gave it a recipe, they gave it the work. So to see the damage on this field like this isn't just disheartening, it's disrespectful, because I don't think anybody understands really, unless you're the one out here doing the work, to know what it actually takes to make a field look like it does. So I'm saying goodbye today because they're going to start ripping this field out probably by the end of this week and put in AstroTurf. I've got my own opinions about AstroTurf. AstroTurf is in my opinion, not a safe, playable surface. There's going to be more and more research that comes out about that. University of Tennessee is a bit of a pioneer with the technology they've invented to test the severity of head impacts on different playing surfaces, and a natural playing surface with a dense stand of turf grass is going to mimic the amount of traumatic brain injury that can take place from a fall compared to an artificial playing surface. So this is my goodbye to Hardin Valley's football field. And this is a big thank you to the coaching staff, the administrators here, that when I was doing the crazy things I was doing out here, nobody ever asked me any questions. Nobody really gave me any grief. Maybe a little bit, but that was because of the whole biochar epidemic, which is a whole story in and of itself that I can tell a little bit later at the back end of this video. But I want to say goodbye because a lot of my heart, a lot of time, a lot of effort went into this field, and not just my time and my effort, but the entire coaching staff, the administration, the money, the donors, the boosters, and the kids that got to enjoy it. Really, that's what it's all about. So I'm saying bye, painfully, bitterly, painfully, and who knows, maybe one day it'll be back. Take it easy, Hardin Valley's football field. It's been real. So I'll tell the story about when we used biochar for the first time on that football field. I used the top dresser and the tractor, and we put out a massive amount of biochar. The thing about biochar is that it's very dusty. It's almost like a coal-like material. So when it was all over this field that was about half-inch tall Bermuda grass, it looked like we painted the field black, which wasn't a big deal in my opinion, but the head coach and the athletic director came and were freaking out, talking about how they have a home game that weekend, and if we ruin the uniforms, we're gonna have to pay for the uniforms. It was gonna be extremely expensive. And so, you know, we were trying to be, me and the guys that provided the biochar, we were trying to be optimistic and upbeat and explain that, oh yeah, no, this is okay. You know, we're fully prepared for this. You know, you just water it a little bit and everything's gonna be okay. Well, they were not happy. I probably got 5 or 6 phone calls in about an hour time span talking about how bad this was, and it was not looking good. So I told them to water the field really, really well, mow it, and then water it again. As I was leaving, I saw the sprinklers kick on, and sure enough, they were watering the field. About 2 hours later, I got a phone call telling me I need to come back to the field. And I was really panicking at this time. I did not know what to do. Of everything in my power, I did not want to go back to that field at all. But I did. I went back to the field. I could see maybe 4 or 5 people wearing dress shirts, dress slacks, standing at the 50-yard line. I see a mower going, and I just thought to myself, wow, there's no telling what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get reamed and chewed out, and I'm in big time trouble. I go around back and I walk up to them standing at the 50-yard line, and the first thing I notice is that the grass looks incredibly clean. There's no discoloration at all, and one of the guys at the 50-yard line was smiling, and he gave me a thumbs up. And so I took off running, and I slid across the ground, and I got up and I checked my shirt, and I did not have any black stains or streaks on it, and it all worked out. The poor football coach who was on the riding mower, this is a huge triplex reel mower. He pulls around and he's walking up to me, and his whole face is like charcoal black. I mean, you cannot see him at all. He takes his sunglasses off and he smiled, and all you could see were just gleaming white teeth and the whites of his eyeballs and rims, where he was covered in this biochar from mowing it up. He asked me, Matt, how does the field look? I told him the field looks great. I don't think it's going to stain any clothes. He left it at that. He said, I'm going to go home and take a shower. Well, it all worked out, and the field all grew in, and you know, that was just part of the pain, part of the story of what that field meant to me and what that field meant to the coaches. So it's hard to say goodbye, but it's one of those things. You got to do it.
Alright everyone, wanted to end this video with some cheap plugs. Big giant thank you to That One Cupcake place in Iowa for sending me out that cupcake batter. One of the most delicious things I have ever eaten. I cannot recommend them highly enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you for getting that out to me. It's awesome stuff. Absolutely amazing. Also, if you are on Instagram, feel free to give me a follow at thegrassfactor. A lot of things that do not make it on the videos end up on Instagram. Kind of give you a behind the scenes look as to what goes on in my life and my job. Lastly, I host the Lawn and Garden Show right here on YouTube Live, Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, one thing I forgot. Big, huge thank you to my wife for putting together the Grass Factor merchandise store. The link is in the description down below. Alright everyone, I appreciate you tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.